All right, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this video, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Hangout TV. My name is Gift Adene, and I will be anchoring this section called Everything We Know. So we'll be talking about everything we know about the Cynthia Morgan, Jude Okoye, Joy Tongo, and the P Square saga that have been online for days now. Like it started yesterday. So apparently, Cynthia Morgan, who has fizzled out of oblivion for the past 3 years, came out from nowhere on an Instagram live video to accuse Jude Okoye and his record label, Northside Entertainment, of killing her career. She accused them of being the cause of the death of her career. She said they took over her Vivo account, they took over her Instagram account, her social media account, and based on the contract she signed, she cannot use her stage name Cynthia Morgan again, which happens to be her real name. Wow, you can imagine someone cannot use their real name again for business. That was what she said, and that really drew a lot of backlash for the music executive. A lot of people came for him. A lot of people came for him. They dragged him on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. They called him names. They called him evil. They called him basically a lot of things. Now, even Mehdi, who was with him before. Mehdi sang Shawboy, sang a lot of songs with him, with P Square, who Jude Okoye was managing as at that time. They sang the song with Akon and all that, came out to, lend his voice to Cynthia Morgan to claim that what she actually said was true. Basically, he implied that Jude Okoye is an evil man, and his younger brother, who is the twin, a part of the defunct duo P Square, that is Peter Okoye, also came out on Instagram to blast his brother. Like it was the three of them just planned about it, and they came out to blast him on social media. However, Jude Okoye responded to all this allegation in an exclusive interview with Tunde Ednot. Yes, he had an exclusive interview with Tunde Ednot on Tunde Ednot's Instagram page at Tunde Ednot yesterday. And in the interview, he said a lot of things. He actually opened up to some of the allegations, and he denied a lot of others. So first of all, he said he did a lot for Mehdi. He spent over $100,000 for Mehdi. He allowed him travel around the world with him. He allowed him use his cards for shopping in expensive, shops like for expensive designers like Gucci, Versace, Dolce and Gabbana, all those, showboy life as a showboy. So that he did all that for Mehdi. He allowed him live in his house. He allowed him eat the kind of food he ate, lived with his family and everything, and all Mehdi had to do was come out and say all this. According to Jude Okoye, whom Mehdi accused of refusing to sign until he started becoming relevant, he said yes, truly, he did not sign Mehdi at first because he was skeptical about him exploding, but he was spending money on him. He was spending money promoting his songs, putting him on making songs for him. And when he saw that Mehdi was actually going to make it, he presented Mehdi with a contract, but Mehdi declined to sign the contract. He claimed Mehdi said he was going to look into it, and he went away with it for 2 weeks and came back, returned it, saying he is not going to sign it. And that was how Mehdi left. In fact, Mehdi said he wanted incentives, and Jude Okoye was like, that was the first time he was hearing the word incentives, and he asked him, what does he mean by the word incentive? He said he didn't see cars in the contract, he didn't see houses, he didn't see pocket money that they should give him, rent a house for him in Lekki. They should give him a BM, something like that, an expensive car, and he should be given a total amount of 4 million naira to use and hold body, according to Jude. But then Jude Okoye said he gave him a Hummer. he was living in his house, that the house they were living in at Omole was a twin duplex, that he told him to go and fix one room in the other duplex to use, but he said no, he wanted the house in Lekki. And Jude was like, me, your producer, me, your boss is living in Omole, the mainland, and you want a house in Lekki. It was not gonna work. That was how they parted ways. And according to him, he didn't know what he did to. He doesn't know what he did to his younger brother, Peter Okoye. Now, if you have been following this family for a very long time, you know that among the three of them, that is Jude, Peter, and Paul Okoye, Peter is the one that's always fighting Jude. Paul doesn't fight Jude. And now he said Peter just wanted him out of the picture, and for no reason, that he has asked him several times, brother, what did I do to you? What was my offense? But that Peter did not give him any tangible reason. So according to him, he said he is never going to bring back Peter and Paul. That does not mean they are not going to come back. According to him, he said, and I quote, that they are big enough and they are mature, they are old enough to know what they want for themselves, that if they want to come back, they will come back. Then he went on to Cynthia Morgan and said he doesn't know what she's talking about concerning the name, that Cynthia Morgan is the name her parents gave her and no man can take it from her. In fact, that no court can grant him that request of holding her name as his own, of holding her name and stopping her from using the name. Then he went on to talk about and then he went on to talk about not being the one who drafted the contract he and Cynthia Morgan signed. According to him, it was Joy Tongo and Cynthia Morgan who drafted the contract, that all he did was placed it in his letterhead and signed. In fact, he alleged that it was Joy Tongo, who was the manager to Cynthia Morgan as at then, that flew her down to Atlanta to meet him and begged him to sign her. And he was an inexperienced music executive as at then. He didn't know what it was all about. So Joy Tongo just produced the contract papers, and he placed it on his letterhead, and he and Cynthia Morgan signed it. And he said, and he went on to say he is not going to hold Cynthia Morgan for anything, that the only thing he's holding that belongs to her is a Vivo account, and it's because he reportedly spent over 40 million naira on her, which he had not regained before she left the contract. In fact, he said she was the one who walked out on the contract herself before the contract expired, that she said she wanted out and he let her go. He didn't hold her down, and the only thing he held was her Vivo account, and it was for him to use to recuperate and get back the over 40 million naira he invested in her. And according to him, he makes an average of $100 quarterly from the Vivo account, which you know how many years it will take to get back the 40 million naira. Now today, Joy Tongo, the former manager of Cynthia Morgan, of course, came out she came out with an official statement on her Instagram account, and in the official statement she detailed what happened between her, Cynthia Morgan, and Jude Okoye. And I think her story actually matched with that of Jude Okoye. Yes, her story matched with that of Jude Okoye, and their story adds up, yes, more than that of Cynthia Morgan. Now, this is not to say Cynthia Morgan is lying, and this is not to say Joy Tonga is lying or Jude Okoye is lying. All I'm saying is that when you look at their issues critically, Joy Tongo gave a detailed explanation of what reportedly happened, her own truth, and it tallies with that of Jude. She confirmed that Jude did not draft the contract, that she herself and Cynthia drafted the contract and gave it to him. All he did was place it on his letterhead and they both signed. And she confirmed that Cynthia Morgan left the record label before her contract expired. She also added that Cynthia Morgan released two musics after two songs, yes. After leaving, Jude Okoye's record label, she went ahead and released two songs, which he never followed her with any court injunction. He never dragged her to court, which means he wasn't holding her. So basically, Nigerians are now divided. Some people are for Jude Okoye, while some people are for, Cynthia Morgan. Cynthia Morgan was the first to come out to the court of public opinion. She was the first to come out. She cried and she was looking fragile, she was looking like a shadow of herself, all blacked up. Someone even said that she can't afford her bleaching cream anymore. But guys, she suffered a lot. She was sick, to the point of death, according to her, and she was completely depressed. So she came out, and Nigerians, human beings, we always empathic, we want to show sympathy and empathy. So people now rushed behind her and started, dragging Jude Okoye. And now Jude Okoye has shared his own part of the story. Joy Tongo has shared her own side of the story, and it tallies with his. So what are we saying? And what I'm saying is that Jude Okoye is not related to Joy Tongo. In fact, Joy Tongo was came with Cynthia Morgan, and Cynthia Morgan did not call out Joy Tongo. She called out Jude Okoye. No, now for Joy Tongo to come out and give her own side of the story to tally with Jude Okoye, something is not adding up. Is Cynthia Morgan lying to us? Is Jude Okoye lying to us? Is Joy Tongo lying to us? Time will tell. For now, Nigerians have set up a GoFundMe account for Cynthia Morgan to try and raise money for her to start up music. Even musician Davido has, come out to say that he's going to feature her in one of his hit songs, and we pray she make it and come back to her feet. Now, a lot of questions have been going up and down. Akin Alabi, a house of representative members, has come out to say that if she doesn't make it in music again at this second tour, she will never make it again. That he's suggesting she starts she goes into merch, like sending off her red hairs and every other thing. But time will tell. But time will truly tell. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe.